Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying with
BYBA Travel.
Alrighty, travelers. Now, we promised to bring you evidence of the next apocalypse, so here we are, Yellowstone National Park. Now, before we go into the end of the world, though, I like to just note that this was one of the most beautiful trips we've taken so far, yet one also filled with a lot of drama thereafter. We posted on this already. The missing Gabby Petito is a huge topic, and we would have had this vlog ready over a week ago, but we felt compelled to really look into this national park and how dangerous it actually is. The theory is a 50 square mile region in Yellowstone National Park where there's sloppy district boundaries, meaning there is a region where one could get away with murder.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, if you committed a crime within this zone, there could be no jury because nobody lives there. A trial would be impossible, and therefore, you could not be convicted. Is this true? And that was way scary in light of her disappearance, and now the disappearance of the last person she was with, Brian Laundrie. So, citing from USA Today, this theory became part of a popular culture, and it was covered by the Washington Post and NPR. It also inspired a thriller novel called Free Fire by best-selling author C.J. Box. Also, check out an episode on the Atlantic's podcast, The Experiment, which I won't even cover it all because in my last post, I could tell that there were some people that aren't quite ready to hear that yet. So, anyway, the world is nuts. And in this last case, I think we just proved this. Anyway, back to the end of the world. It's coming, you guys, and I'm not too sure how we could just keep walking by all these signs. When it happens, it may be too late. Sure, it's pretty now. I mean, look at these breathtaking views. Each of these images are telling us something different, so pay attention, folks. And then all of you waiting until retirement or winning the lottery, please don't wait. Please don't. One, some of these trails won't be walker friendly. Definitely not for walkers. Two, we can go over in another video, economical way to be able to enjoy this trip and keep it under budget. For instance, we not only saw all of Yellowstone, but we also saw the beautiful scenery from Grand Teton, craters of the moon, and we even had a nice evening dining in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Otherwise, travel like the rest and spend an eternity and a bankroll to see just one attraction in your entire lifetime. It's up to you. Subscribe, people. Yellowstone National Park is a nearly 3,500 square mile wilderness recreation area atop a volcanic hotspot. It's basically this big volcano ready to erupt. Now, the last eruption was 630 years ago. That's what they said. And they say it happens almost every 700,000 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Now, in terms of large explosions, we'll all be dead before it happens. We're just walking around the park blinded by smoke and suffocated by that hydrogen sulfide nasty poot smell. That's right. It smells like someone ate a nice potato salad with extra eggs and pooted over and over again. Anyway, mostly in Wyoming. For lodging purposes, the park spreads into Montana and Idaho as well, as we talked about before. And it features dramatic canyons, these alpine rivers, lush forests, hot springs, gushing geysers, including the most famous, that's right, Old Faithful. It's also home to hundreds of animal species, including bears, which we even saw a bear eating a bison, wolves, elk, antelope. All this wildlife is most predominant at sunrise and sunset, okay? And in our efforts to make the most of our day, we hit a baby antelope on the way in a brand new BMW. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we almost died. Luckily, we missed the buck and hit Bambi. But pay attention because the wildlife is wild. How can we tell, or what are the signs of the next eruption? There were 5 majors. Number 1, more than 1,000 earthquakes swarmed Yellowstone Park last month. All right, so we can just check that off the list. So there were approximately 1,000 to 3,000 earthquakes that occur each year in Yellowstone. Most are not even felt. So 1,000 in a month, I mean, do your own research, but that's cause for concern. For number 2, let's check this off. The noticeable steaming of this fume-like activity in the enlarged areas of the hot ground. So, did I tell you the smell was horrific? Now, I'm not sure how it smelled years ago, but this was definitely cause for concern. Like, I was walking around the park like, is this gonna kill us? Like, I was Googling while we were walking around the park. There was even a little geyser that we saw in Soda Springs. They say little, but to me, it was larger than Old Faithful. But they used to have people like using this geyser as a water park. It's man-made and reeked of gas. But even this smell wasn't as bad as the rotten egg smell in Yellowstone. So, I mean, at one of the geysers, not only could we not see because of the steaming, but it smelled so bad. I mean, like, hurry, get out of here, smell. Now, we stayed in this area just a bit longer to get the scoop on a dog that jumped in and died here. It was actually a sad story, which leads me to warn you, pet lovers, leave your pets at home. This water was boiling way over 168 degrees between here and the mud spots. So if your dog or child just so happens to get in or get curious, we did warn you here. So please view with caution. That was such a sad story. Number 3, sudden swelling of the ground surface. There was a bunch of that while we were there. You hear that? Literally changes happening right before our very eyes. So at Dragon's Breath, the ranger even pointed out new rocks that had just fallen right at the mouth of this spring. Then we have number 4 on our checklist, changes in the heat flow. Now, we couldn't tell this from one trip. However, the weather was extremely wacky there. Like, away from the park, you're in long sleeves, but then upon visiting the geysers in the springs, you wanted to take off your skin. My advice, long sleeve shirts, shorts, tennis shoes, and dress in layers to take off and put on whenever needed because it's just sporadic. Number 5, finally, the abundance of gases. This was non-stop. I mean, I couldn't wait to venture off to other territories, which is how we ended up in Jackson. But guys, this is one of those attractions you want to take not now, but right now. As we get closer to the end of civilization, you'll wish you'd seen all of this beauty, especially before it blows up. I mean, from seeing parts of the Oregon Trail to healing in the hot springs and even a trip to Idaho Potato Museum. Then the waterfalls. Oh my gosh, the waterfalls. Shoshone Waterfall, Falls in Idaho Falls, Niagara Falls in the Thousand Springs at State Park, Lower Falls of the Yellowstone River. We were falling all over the place. I love waterfalls, and I do love you guys. So, take heed, travelers. Pay attention to your surroundings, and apparently now the people you're with. And don't wait too long to check out all of this beauty around you, because one day you look up and it's over. You'll be saving a lifetime for no time. So book your travel ASAP. Come on, people, subscribe, and let's go.